Coach, what was the biggest takeaway from the 2 days in between Colorado and Florida Gulf Coast? Where do you think the kids got better?
I think, from a defensive standpoint, we really took a huge step, and against Florida Gulf Coast, guys came out with the defensive mindset. Obviously, from thinking about the Colorado game and probably the first half of the Tennessee Tech game, where we didn't shoot the ball like we know we're capable of shooting it. That can shake you a little bit, and so to see our guys not allowing that to affect what we do on the defensive end was refreshing to see, and it was great to see. And that's what we talked about in the game days leading up to it. It was about, look, regardless of what happens on offense, make or miss, like that can't change who we are on defense. At the end of the day, that's what we hang our hat on. That's what our program hangs our hat on, and so we can guard with the best of them. We have some guys, some versatile guys that can guard multiple positions. I think we have everything from a defensive standpoint, and so just making sure we were on the same page as that is concerned.
Did Julian look a little bit more comfortable against Florida Gulf Coast the other night?
A little bit. I think, again, you think about the games that he's played in as a freshman, and he's played against some veteran guys. You look at Michigan State, you look at Gonzaga. I mean, those are two high-level teams. Tennessee Tech, they had an older guy at the wing position. At Colorado, again, you matched up with kind of an older guy as well. And so I think he's gradually starting to feel a lot more comfortable in his role and what he can do. Obviously, I still think there's a lot more levels that he's going to be able to reach and he's going to get to. But pleased with where he is, pleased with the direction he's heading. As always, you can point at some things defensively that everybody can do. And so as a freshman, for the first time going through this, there's always going to be, a few things here and there that he's got to get better at. But biggest thing with Julian is his mindset is always right, and he's always about winning, always about team.
When did you see kind of things settle in for Jahmai in the offseason, just in terms of his role and how he's really embraced that? I would say probably like week 3 in preseason is when you kind of started to feel it, because I would say when we got back in the fall, everybody's still trying to carve out their niche and what they think their niche should be, and so it's not until, practice starts that, okay, coach starts identifying roles and Shaq's a coachable kid. He's worked really hard on his game, and Coach Barnes has been great in identifying his role, and now he's doing a great job of accepting it.
Coach, with Eurosh out a couple weeks, 10 days, couple weeks, whatever, big opportunity for Jonas to get more minutes, more reps. What does he need to do to really take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think, with Jonas, it starts on the defensive side of the basketball. Everybody we play will be heavy ball screen, and so it might involve him getting switched off on smaller players. It might involve him having to, drop and get back, red and get back, whatever, or trap and get back. He's got to be able to do what he's supposed to do on the defensive side of the basketball. Offense is going to take care of itself. We have a lot of confidence in him on that side of the ball. He's a high IQ guy. He's very skilled. He brings a different element to us from that position with his ability to stretch the floor. And so for him, it's going to be, defending and then rebounding, making multiple efforts on the offensive glass, trying to keep balls alive, trying to get as many of those as he can, and then on the defensive glass, securing rebounds.
Rick sounded pretty encouraged about Urosh possibly being available next week. Do you guys feel like he's still moving in a good direction? Yeah,
I think he's moving in the right direction. His spirits are up. I've learned to trust Roche, and whether it's how you feel about the game or whether it is about your health, and so he says he's feeling better. Don't worry about me, coach, and I trust Roche.
It seemed like there was an extra emphasis on attacking the basket against Florida Gulf Coast. Was that the case, and if so, why?
Yeah, it was. We put a big emphasis on it, leading up to the game, and more so, just as a basketball team, and player, you never want to be one-dimensional. And you felt like, I would say Tennessee Tech and, Colorado, maybe they baited us into some, some threes and maybe some earlier threes. And so we just wanted to, make sure we wasn't abandoning our inside game, because that's the thing I love about this team is the versatility. We can play inside out. And so, not forgetting about those guys in there, getting them touches and putting pressure on the paint.
What's the early scout on Butler? Does it look like a typical kind of Thad Matta imprint so far?
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with the Thad Matta footprint. They're a good team. They have some really good guards that are aggressive. They're downhill. They're attack mode. They're older, so they've been through the fire this season. A couple transfers. They have the Bates kid inside, who's a load. He's 6'10", 6'11". He was, I want to say, top 5 NC State in blocks before he left, and he was only there 2 years. So he's a rim protecting big with touch around the basket. So. And then they have the stretch 4 kid that is really aggressive shooting the 3, and so essentially playing 4 guards around 1 big and playing with good pace. So it's a good basketball team, and I feel like they know they have an identity of who they are, and everybody's kind of bought into that role. And they came close at Penn State, was right there in the game, and they've been banged up a little bit, but. They haven't stopped fighting, so it's a good basketball team.
Do you guys feel like you have that identity yourselves, who this team is?
I do, and I think at the end of the day, and every game we've been in, we've defended. We're a team of defenders. That's who we are. We're going to guard, and I don't think we've ever lost track of that. I think we have had maybe a few possessions where maybe we hung our head, maybe we worried about what happened on the other end. But our identity at the end of the day is a tough-minded defensive unit and an unselfish group.
Justin, Jemai on the dunk he had, he caught his defender sleeping, went back door and
Yeah.
jammed it home. How often do you see Meshack do the little things like that in practice and games?
Yeah, you see it often. Shaq is a really good athlete, but he does possess a good level of basketball IQ as well. And the thing I would compliment him on too is like he's always wanting to learn. He's always watching other guys and learning from them. And so he watches Santi, he watches Josiah, he watches how those guys kind of move without the ball and screen and get other people open, and he kind of incorporates that into his game. So, it doesn't shock me because he's such a quick learner and he picks things up quickly, and he's competitive. So, it was nice to see. It was good to see that, and excited for Shaq.
Do you all feel that BJ can help you all at some point this season?
I do. I think so. And again, with this team, we have a mature group. We have a lot of older guys. We have a lot of guys returning, kind of in his position. And so the opportunity hasn't presented itself yet where he can make major contributions. But I'll tell you this, and I know a lot of you guys have seen too. You've been in practices, like you've seen his contribution in practice. You see how hard he's been working and how much better he's getting every single day. And so I feel comfortable in saying that. Yeah, I think there will be a time where he'll help us. And to be quite honest, I think we're going to need him before the season. Now we're going to need him to be ready to play.
We've seen a little bit of the 5-guard lineup that Rick talked about in the preseason. Was that do you feel comfortable running that, or is that just kind of the nature of some injuries and foul trouble against Colorado?
No, we feel comfortable. We feel comfortable running that. I think that's something that a group that, again, you talk about versatility, being a versatile team, and that's one way we can play because of Josiah's ability to guard any and everybody on the court, and Julian's kind of figuring it out. But when you got Josiah and you got Santi kind of anchoring that thing, you feel good about those other three and them getting them in position. And so it's a lineup I think we got to get more comfortable with as the season goes. We'll continue to to try it out in different situations, but it is something that I know Coach is looking at and excited about.
Two more, I forgot. How much can a week on the road and 3 games in 3 days help a team establish itself, find its rhythm or flow or stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it will a lot. You know, it's funny, I was just, you know, thinking about our current schedule, and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, play off a week, play off, you know, a little period of time. And so I think it'll allow us to catch some type of rhythm out there, and you know, back-to-back games, and you're able to make your adjustments and all that good stuff. And so I think it's good in that sense, and I also think just for our guys being around each other for that length of time and getting to spend time with each other, I think that's going to be huge for the team's growth.
All right, everybody good? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.